Alright, and welcome back to Bangers and Mash at the Movies. This week we're reviewing the 2016 film Batman vs. Superman. It was directed by Zack Snyder. He's best known for Watchmen and 300. This movie is the sequel to the 2013 film Man of Steel. It's starring Ben Affleck as Batman, Henry Cavill as Superman, Amy Adams as Lois Lane, and Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor.
So Batman vs. Superman was the first movie to feature live-action Wonder Woman, Aquaman, The Flash, Cyborg. Snyder took ideas from the Dark Knight comic book series by Frank Miller. They also took ideas from the Death of Superman. It does follow the original comic, and in doing so we see a different side of Batman.
Yeah, it's definitely darker than the Christopher Nolan Batman.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The movie was supposed to be a reboot for Batman.
Yeah, so when we start off, the movie takes place a year and a half after Man of Steel. The epic battle with General Zod in Metropolis, if you haven't seen it. Basically, people are pissed off at Superman because of all the destruction that battle caused. So he's basically living under his alter ego Clark Kent with Lois Lane. Batman, on the other hand, is in Gotham City, obviously. He sees Superman as a threat because of the damage from the battle with General Zod. So he believes that Superman doesn't give a shit about the Earth, and on the flip side, Superman views Batman as a threat because of his activities. So he tries to take him down with articles in the Daily Planet, the newspaper he works for.
Even you got too old to die young. Not for lack of trying.
So Batman finds out that there's a weapon trafficker that's doing business with LexCorp, and he's trying to figure out how they all connect. He ends up finding out that Lex Luthor is kind of trying to import kryptonite to stop Batman, or trying to stop Superman.
Yeah, to deter Kryptonians.
Yeah, so in case any more of them come. So and then Batman ends up stealing the kryptonite to use against Batman, and he ends up putting together like some badass weapons, puts together like a Kryptonian spear, and also like these gas bombs that end up slowing him down in the final battle, not to give out any spoilers.
Yeah.
Superman is frustrated that he wasn't able to save people after Lex Luthor sets off a bomb and kind of goes into hiding. Batman ends up, building his badass suit to take him out, and then, a battle finally ensues.
Yeah, well, he kind of jumped ahead a bit there, but yeah, Luthor kidnaps Superman's Earth mom.
Yeah.
He forces Superman to fight Batman. Even after Superman tries to reason with Batman, obviously the inevitable battle begins. I mean, the movie's called Batman vs. Superman, so of course the battle ensues. Meanwhile, Lex Luthor is just busy trying to he got access to General Zod's ship, and he ends up like releasing Doomsday from it all onto the world. Any more of this will probably just give away the movie, so we're just gonna leave it at that.
It was a simple premise, Batman versus Superman. Unfortunately, it took about 2 hours before the final scene, and the movie runs about 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, the final fight scene's 2 hours in, and it's a 2.5 hour movie.
So, you can kind of see where we're getting at. They wanted the story to seem more than it really was. It was kind of thin to begin with. There was a lot of boring scenes trying to introduce people.
Yeah.
But, Batman has these visions, and visions, and they're kind of like nightmares, and it just comes across as cheesy.
There's one in particular that's really bad. I'm not gonna say anything, but it is really bad.
He has the power to wipe out the entire human race. If we believe there's even a 1% chance that he is our enemy, we have to take it as an absolute certainty.
So the movie was basically 2 hours of talking, with the last half hour consisting of fighting.
Back to back. Two fights back to back. I personally thought Ben Affleck was the worst choice for Batman. Henry Cavill was full of stiff lines, but I mean, I guess that's kind of always been Superman. It sounded like he was reading a text, like every time he read a line. It was kind of short little...
Kind of like robotic.
Yeah, there was no real life in him, which made the dialogue boring, tedious, and downright bad at times. So many scenes of trying to sound cool and tough with like these one-liners, but it just comes across as alpha male bullshit. Jeremy Irons was like the worst Alfred I've ever seen.
Master Wayne. Thermal imaging is showing me 24 hostiles on the 3rd floor. Why don't I drop you off on the 2nd?
Don't even get me started on Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. I personally thought that was a bad choice. If you're gonna have like an out there casting decision with Batman being fucking Ben Affleck, don't have an out there Lex Luthor also.
Day versus night.
You're psychotic.
That is a 3-syllable word for any thought too big for little minds.
Their performances fail to convince. It's kind of a letdown. Real boring until the end. Even still, the battle consisted of way overkilled strobe lighting effects. It just became overwhelming when it's just blinking in your face for like 20 minutes.
Do you know the oldest lie in America? That power can be innocent.
They shoehorned in a bunch of other characters, like he said, Aquaman, Flash, Cyborg, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's the only one who kind of really did anything.
And even then, we didn't really get to see that much of her.
No, I guess they didn't want to put too much of her in there, but yeah, I mean, the addition of Doomsday was fucking cool, but he looked so CGI that it came across as bad. And if you go back and watch a movie like Deadpool, they nailed it with the effects on Colossus. Like, it looks like perfect. This movie did not nail it. He looked CGI'd fake and like he's in a video game. I would say avoid this movie like the plague. That's all I can say. Sad to say, though, Zack Snyder is signed up to make the next Batman movie, so, fuck.
Oh, I didn't think you've ever known a woman like me.
What did you think of Batman vs. Superman?
So, we both kind of agreed. We have had enough of the Batman backstory.
Yeah.
We don't want to see the Wayne family get killed anymore.
Another note on that is also Spider-Man. We do not need to see Uncle Ben die again.
You know, we both thought it was dark and gritty, which is nice.
Yeah, they held grudges and, you know, it had that gritty...
It makes the DC universe apart from the Marvel universe.
Yeah, that
Marvel
was
seems
nice.
Happy. DC is dark and gritty.
Yeah.
You know. The Justice League was a bit of an overkill.
Yeah, I mean, we get it. There's going to be a Justice League movie.
And a Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah, all that shit. Like,
And a Batman movie.
Don't ram it all down our throat in one movie, please.
So, you know, my pros are that the movie came from a good place.
Yeah,
It's coming
DC.
from the DC universe, it's DC Comics. And the fight scene was okay. The
Yeah.
cons, too many cameos. By the end of it, I just didn't care about any of the characters. And because it was such a long movie, it could have been a little bit shorter and I wouldn't have cared so much. It gets about a solid 7 out of 10, and that's only because it's coming from the DC universe.
Oh no, I have to disagree. My pros, I mean, really hard to say what a pro is about this movie because it was outright bad on every level. Really, Doomsday, I guess, was cool. The introduction of Doomsday, I mean, he's an awesome character. They could have made him look a little less CGI, though, man. I mean, that was kind of depressing. I can't really find too many pros or any pros at all about this stinky-ass turd. The cons, though, the movie is pointlessly long. Could have been an hour and a half. Would have been an awesome movie if it was an hour and a half. But no, instead we got a long, dragged-out, boring fucking chatter with 2 battle scenes at the end. Ben Affleck should really be ashamed of this. First his Daredevil fuck-up, and now this. And now I'm scared shitless to see what he does with the upcoming Suicide Squad and all that. I mean, Really, I guess 5 out of 10. I made it to the end of the movie at least.
So this has been another Bangers and Mash. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to keep subscribing and tune in. And we're going to do more game reviews and more movie reviews as they come out.
Don't forget to donate your Boba Fett merchandise. And until next time, this is Mash saying fuck off. I got work to do.
The greatest gladiator match in the history of the world. God versus man.